is Hujr ibn Adi. Hujr ibn Adi was one of the last people to ever see Ameerul Momineen. When the Imam was in his home, being looked after by his family and children, Hujr ibn Adi asks Imam al-Hasan for permission to come in and speak to his master for one last time. He comes in, he says salam to the Imam. Then he begins to eulogize the Imam. He said, what a dark day this is, that the master of the pious is departing. He is leaving us. He cried for Ameerul Momineen. So then the Imam said to him, Ya Hajr, what will they do? What will you do if they threaten to kill you unless you renounce me? What's going to happen to you? The Imam is telling him about what's going to happen in the future. What will you do if they threaten to kill you and your children unless you renounce me, unless you disown me, unless you curse your master Ali? What does Hujr say? Hujr said that, Wallah, Ya Ameerul Momineen, law qatta'uni irban irba. If they cut me into small pieces, I shall never disown you or renounce your love from my heart. So the Imam said to him, وَفَّقَكَ اللَّهُ لِكُلِّ خَيْرٍ يَا حِجْرٍ. May Allah grant you the tawfiq, the backing for everything that is good. Ayatollah Shaykh Wahid Khurasani says it was after that, فَكَانَ يُصَلِّي فِي اللَّيْلِ أَلْفَ رَكَعَةٍ. One prayer by Ameerul Momineen, and this man would perform 1,000 units of prayer every single night. Tonight, brothers and sisters, one dua, one look, one glimpse by Imam al-Zaman, and we can turn our lives around. We can reach the level of Rushayd al-Hajari, Maytham al-Tammar, Habib ibn Mudahir, Hujr ibn Adi, Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr. We can reach that level. All it takes is a sincere commitment to never commit a sin ever again, number one, and number two, to beseech Imam al-Zaman so that he could glimpse us even for a brief moment and pray for us as Ameerul Momineen prayed for Hujr ibn Adi. And indeed, that is exactly what happened to Hujr. What did they do to him? Muawiyah ordered him to be taken to a village called Marj Adra, which is located about 35 kilometers from Damascus, where Muawiyah was the ruler. They took him to Marj Adra along with 9 of his children and friends and relatives. They told him, Ya Hujr, curse Ali ibn Abi Talib. If you do that, we will let you go. Hujr ibn Adi said, he didn't even address the request or the offer that was made. He said, here is what I want you to do. When you kill me, do not unshackle me. Because he was in shackles, right? He was arrested. He said, do not break the chains, do not unshackle me, and do not wash my body, and don't wash the blood off of my corpse, because this is how I'm going to face Muawiyah on the Sirat on the Day of Judgment. You want me to renounce Ameerul Momineen? To curse Ali ibn Abi Talib so I could live an extra 2 or 3 or 5 days on this planet? Wallahi, it's not worth it. A life devoid of Ali ibn Abi Talib is hell. He said, but I do have one last request. They said, what is it? He said, you're going to kill all of us? They said, yes. You're going to kill my children? They said, yes. He said, well, I want you to kill my son before you kill me. Allahu Akbar. No one can watch as they kill his own blood and flesh. Your young, beautiful son, 17 years old, 20 years old. I don't know about you, but I'm reminded of a man who had to witness his son get killed right before his 2 eyes in Karbala. Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. Why would you want your son to be killed before you? He said, because my belief in Ameerul Momineen is firm. I've lived with Ali ibn Abi Talib. There's not a chance that you can take that love out of my heart. But my son really doesn't have that firm belief. I'm afraid that if he sees his father's throat being slit, his faith and his love in Ali might be shaken. So if you're going to kill all of us, then take him first and then kill me. Allah Allahu Akbar. Brothers and sisters, I'll sum up. We've run out of time. The number one priority in our lives should be this. Afi salamatin min dini. Especially, I'm talking to the youngsters here. To the beautiful, luminous faces of these young men and women who are with us here today. Fasting, thirsty, hungry. They've left everything that's out there. They've come to lament the tragedy of their master, Ameerul Momineen, to raise their hands in prayer and say, Ilahi bi'aliyin, bi'aliyin, bi'aliyin 10 times. I'm talking to you. Make sure that whatever you do, you try to be on the path of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Next time you're enticed, you're motivated by a sin, by a pleasure, by something that is haram, just say no. We have a hadith, we have 2 ahadith actually, where Ameerul Momineen mentions 2 particular sins, which I don't need to get into. And the Imam says that whoever does this, فَكَأَنَّمَا صَفَعَ عَلِيًّا عَلَى وَجْهِهِ. It's as if you've slapped Ali ibn Abi Talib across the face. Let's not slap Ameerul Momineen on his face. Ameerul Momineen, when they play